So now what we're going to do is try and solve an equation by dividing instead of multiplying. So we have 6 times a equals 30. So the big thing here is we need to recognize that this is really 6 times a without the times written in there. And our goal at the end of the day is to have 1a left. And I don't want 6 a's, I want 1a. So what I need to be able to do is change this 6 into a 1. And we do that by multiplying both sides by 1/6. Now 6 times 1/6 then becomes 1. Now that's not how we like to talk about it, because we don't want to multiply by a fraction. So what we end up doing is, instead of saying times 1/6, what we end up doing is we come along and we say, okay, let's do this. Let's divide both sides by 6. And if you do it to the left, you have to do it to the right. So it's legal and fair as long as if I divide the left by 6, I have to divide the right by 6, even if this creates a nasty fraction on this side. So just like 6 times 1/6 is 1, 6 divided by 6 is 1. So what ends up happening over here is this 6 and 6 end up reducing away to a 1, and our final answer then comes out to be that a equals 5. So that's how we get to our final answer. Now over here on this one, we go with the same thing, but I want the -7 to turn into a single y. So what I end up doing here is I'm going to divide by a -7. Fair and legal as long as I divide both sides by a -7. -7 divided by -7 makes a positive 1y. So I'm not going to write the positive 1, but we need to recognize that -7 divided by -7 did give me that positive 1 that I was looking for. So over here on this side, this is going to be 8, and I've got to pay attention right here. I've got a minus sign, I've got a plus sign, so in the end this is going to have a negative value. Same thing happens over here, and we need to be ambidextrous on the solving of equations. So you end up with the z on the right instead of on the left. That's okay. Don't let it get the better of you. Just take and divide both sides by a -3, because now what we're trying to do is we're trying to isolate that z variable on this one. So we're going to divide both sides by -3, which is legal as long as I divide both sides by -3. On this side, let's do the easy one first. -3 divided by -3 is positive 1. The key here also is that if you don't end up with a z variable out of the end of this with a coefficient of 1, we chose too much or chose too little. So 3 goes into here. What do we end up with? 6.3. And this is a negative divided by a negative, so in this case our answer is positive. I won't write the plus sign there. It would be implied.